Which number line model represents the expression 5.5 plus negative 3? So we begin on the number line on 5.5. Okay, so the only option that begins at 5.5 is this one. From the 0 we take 5.5 steps to the right, and then we go back. We take another 3 steps to the left. Okay, we add 3 more steps in the negative direction, in the opposite direction. So this is the only correct option. Which number line model represents the expression negative 2/3 plus negative 1/3? So we begin our journey at negative 2/3. So we begin to the left of the 0 at 2/3. So B and C are optional. And we take another step to the left, to the negative direction. So we take another step to the left. So option B is correct. Take 2 steps to the left, 2/3, and another 1/3. So we end up at 3/3. Which number line model represents the expression 3/4 plus minus 1/4? So we first take positive direction, 3/4 to the right of the 0. So the only option that begins the journey to the right of the 0 is option A. And then we take another step to the opposite direction because we are adding a negative number. So we jump 1/4 to the left and we end up at 2/4. Which number line model represents the expression 3.5 plus negative 5? So first, from the 0, we need to take positive direction, 3.5. Okay, so the only option is B. First, from the 0, first arrow is upwards. It takes us to 3.5, between 3 and 4. And then we take another 5 steps, but we take them in the opposite direction because we add -5, -5. So our first leg of the journey takes us from 0 to 3.5, and then we take another 5 steps, but in the opposite direction. So we end up at -1.5, between -1 and -2. Which number line model represents the expression 1.5 plus -4 plus -4? Okay, so first we need to take positive direction. From the 0 we need to go up. Okay, we need to go up to 1.5. So here each hash mark represents 1 step. So this is 1 and this is 1.5. And then we take 4 negative steps. So we end up, the difference between 1.5 and -4 is 2.5. So we end up at -2.5. See here that we have 2 numbers with different signs, 1.5 and -4. 1.5 is positive and -4 is negative. So if we have 2 numbers with different signs and we add them up. To know the result, we find the difference between the two numbers, and the result has the sign of the bigger number. So here the difference is 2.5, and the result will be in the negative because minus 4 is greater than 1.5. So B is the correct option, and we end up at negative 2.5. Which number line model represents the expression negative 2 plus negative 7/2? Okay, so we begin by taking 2 steps to the left of the 0. Okay, so only option B and C are possible, because option A first takes 2 steps to the right of the 0, and we need to take 2 steps to the left of the 0. And then we take another negative direction, this 7/2 steps to the left. Okay, so from negative 2, we add another 7/2. Okay, 7/2 is like 3.5. 7/2 is like, no. Yeah, it's like 3.5. So 1, 2, 3.5 steps, another 3.5 steps, and in this case both numbers have the same sign, so we add them up and the result will have the negative sign. So 2 plus 3.5 is minus 5.5 or 5.5. So in total we took 5.5 steps to the left. 2 plus 3.5. So C is the correct option. Which number line model represents the expression 6 plus negative 2? So first we take 6 steps in the positive direction from the 0. Okay, so option C is not correct because option C begins the journey by taking 4 steps from the 0 in the positive direction. So only option A and B, the first leg of the journey, is to the positive direction. And then we add another 2 steps, but in the opposite direction, because we add negative 2. So option B is the correct option. We take 6 steps to the positive and then 2 steps in the opposite direction. We end up at 4. Here we take 6 steps to the positive direction and another 2 steps to the positive direction. So this is not the correct option. B is the correct option. Thank you for watching. In the next video I'm going to do this practice, number equations and number lines. I'll see you in the next video.